What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Coddiwomple Overland. We're bringing you another campsite live, but it's actually not live again. We found ourselves with actually no cell service. Today we're on the Rimrocker Trail. We've added a few people to the group. Of course, last time we talked about how Nancy and Alan were stuck in Kansas. They made it out of Kansas. They're not in Kansas anymore. They found us. They found it.
I know.
Got it fixed. Had to put a fuel pump in their Jeep, and now they're with us. We've also added a couple more people, plus a little one, so we're about 2.5 plus over there. Josh, Courtney, and Remy from Overlanding Now has joined us for this leg of our Utah-Colorado expedition, and they're with Overlanding Now. You got to really check their channel out. They're doing great things.
Good channel.
It is a really good channel. Want to start off with thanking Dan Cummins Off-Road for sponsoring this trip for us. If it wasn't for Dan Cummins Off-Road, it would have been very difficult to pull this trip off. Check him out, www.dancumminsoffroad.com, home of the Lifetime Powertrain. So, we've had quite a week, right?
Yes, we have.
So the last time we left, we were in the Aspens on the Henry Mountains.
Yep.
And from there, we made it off of the Henrys into Hanksville.
Back to Hanksville.
Back to Hanksville. We went back and seen both of our friends at Hanksville, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we made it on over to where we met Alan and Nancy in Blanding. But before we got to Blanding, we encountered the Hellstorm across that bridge. I think we're the only people that come to the desert and the rain chasing us. So that was quite an event. Had quite a bit of rain, hail, getting into Blanding, wind, kind of like today. I hope this video works out with the wind. But yeah, it's been something. Made it to Blanding. Kelly, you had an issue in Blanding.
Yeah, truck started, check engine light, had it scanned, and I'm consistently throwing 2 intermittent transmission codes.
Yeah.
And so, took a jaunt up to a Ram dealership, and they scanned the codes, and they're pretty convinced it's actually just a sensor, because I'm not running into any shifting problems. I'm not heating up the transmission, and we've been doing some fairly serious climbing. So they think it's just a sensor, so we're just letting it ride and keeping an eye on it.
All right, but you were totally prepared to bring a new Ram back.
I did almost buy a new Power Wagon. Yeah, 2021 75th anniversary edition. It was pretty. It was also $70,000. So it stayed where it was. But yeah.
So once we got to Blanding, while Kelly was gone getting his Ram looked at, Alan and Nancy made their way from Kansas to meet up with us there. That's where we got everybody together, and we made our way from there across Beef Basin down to Bobby's Hole. And that was the first real wheeling that we've done on the whole trip. So, Mike, what did you think about Bobby's Hole?
I liked it. That was really, it was challenging, but it wasn't to the point where you could break something that you had to worry about it. So I had a good time. It was a big smile on my face.
It was a good warm up for Elephant Hill, right?
Yes. He was downhill.
Yeah. Nancy, you scraped a time or two on Bobby's Hole?
Oh, I think you might say I scraped a time or two. I still have a bottom of a Jeep, so it's all good.
But no running boards.
Well, my running boards are still attached.
They're a little U-shaped, but
yeah, but they work.
That's a new wave design.
Yeah.
I want to brag about Nancy. Every place that Bill mentions, Nancy drove. She drove the whole way.
Nancy,
from
just like
Kentucky here to over all these interesting places.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, Kelly said time and time again the other day that Nancy has for sure gotten the driver of the trip award.
She absolutely has.
We're doing stuff on 37s and lifts, and we get through it and look back, and here comes Nancy and her AEV leveling kit and 34-inch tear grapplers, and she's just pushing right on through, dragging frame and
Yep.
pushing up running boards, and but she's trucking right along.
Yeah, she is.
We're having a great time. So after Bobby's Hole, we made it on up into the Needles district of Canyonland, where we found Devil's Kitchen, which was the first time of the whole trip where we actually had to pull a winch. And of course it was for Nancy.
Great.
Just,
I need to check their equipment.
yeah, we got to check Mike's winch. It was the first time he had ever got
Very first
to
time.
use the winch.
And it worked.
And it did.
Yeah.
Well, that was thanks to Kelly's mishap at LBL. After watching that video, I said, I better go check my winch.
Yeah.
Hey, the best tool to bring on a trip is a friend.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
a good spotter.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
spotter. So we made it through Devil's Kitchen and we got to Elephant Hill. Elephant Hill is no joke. We made it through without any issues, but it was definitely challenging.
Absolutely.
It's one of the more difficult trails that we've done.
When you told Nancy she had to back up that one section, she was not happy. You said, but you've got to do it. And she said,
And I did.
okay.
Where?
We have the
Elephant Hill, where
advantage.
you go up
Back
and you
up,
go
you
back
go
up and
back.
up to the
I'm not sure I remember.
Down in
I
the
don't-
Needles district.
I don't remember it by name.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember it.
It's a badge of honor trail.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool trail.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
You
even know
haven't
if we.
checked that one out.
I don't know if we've done that one.
So we made it up and over Elephant Hill, and then we got onto Lockhart Basin, where it started raining again. We actually done Elephant Hill wet, because it was raining while we were up there. And then Lockhart Basin, we started on the south end of Lockhart, and it got really wet and really slick.
Trying to keep them ahead of the rain because of being in the basin also.
Yeah. Yeah, we got down Indian Campground, I think's what it was, Indian Creek. Anyway, it was on the south end of the Lockhart Basin, and we knew that it was a pretty substantial dry wash. So we went across the ridge and got up on a small plateau to where we was protected away from the water, but was also semi-protected away from wind, we thought. That night was brutal.
Yes. I
Yeah.
thought we were just going to blow off.
Kelly's
I mean,
tent
it was, yeah.
moved itself, but luckily it moved toward his truck.
So we set up with where the wind was coming, and we set up a wind block for him. And about middle of the night, about 5 o'clock in the morning, the wind changed to 180 degrees, and it literally pushed Kelly's ground tent into his truck where he had it tethered. Both of the rooftop tents done great. You know, we had some canvas flapping and things like that, but as far as structurally, you can't beat the OVS tent. And we were 50. I know we were over 50 mile an hour guys, and it did a great job. And girls did a great job as well.
The canvas was moving along the pipes.
So how did you all fare that night?
Our tent lifted up off the ground all around us.
Yeah. So you all were the only anchor point.
Yes.
The next morning we got up to sunshine. It was beautiful. Sitting around having coffee, and we started hearing this noise, and Mike and I said, you know what? That's a crazy amount of wind coming. And it just kept getting louder and stronger, and I think
Nancy was pretty sure she knew what was happening.
It was water.
Just didn't
Yeah.
speak up.
yeah. And then Laura, you stepped out of the tent, or was already out of the tent, and just turned around and seen it coming down the canyon. We got to witness a true flash flood, all the way from the debris pile being pushed down from the water in front of it, all the way down the canyon. It was
Like a
just
movie.
absolutely
Yeah, like
something
in
you
the
would see out of
movies.
the movies.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. After that, we made our way on over to the upper end of Lockhart Canyon, which took us the better part of the day because of the rain and the weather. But we got right to the last end of Lockhart Basin, where we decided to stop for the night before we made our way down the most difficult part of Lockhart. It was a really cool sight. The next day we kind of took our time around camp, and then we made our way down down the most difficult part of Lockhart Basin, which is absolutely, again, no joke. I don't know how many. I don't know how many power wagons have been down that, and I don't know how many stock Jeeps have been down that.
But that's impressive.
Josh, you've got some history at Lockhart, right?
Yeah, in a stock JL.
Okay,
And-
tell us about it.
Well, we got
They had
stuck.
bigger
Got
tires.
stuck.
We got stuck. I was able to get my buddy through, luckily, and we were able to winch to him, and he pulled us through. But there's just that one spot where those two rocks are, and that's in the video where you got hung up too.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just nothing you can do if you're there by yourself. I don't know. There's
Like I
nothing to
said-
winch to.
Like I said, bring a friend.
Yeah, bring a friend because there's nothing you can winch to. It's just sand and huge boulders, and you just gotta, just be careful. That's one of those trails where you could get stuck, and you are what
20 miles from
another human being.
Yeah, and then you're another 20 miles the other way to the road that leads to Canyonland.
And
You're
not an
in
easy
the
20
middle of
miles.
No.
Not an easy 20 miles.
it's
We're
a
talking
hike.
1,000-foot vertical.
Yep.
Yeah. You're
What size tires
rough.
did you have on your stock Jeep?
35s.
Okay, so they are
It's really all you can fit, with
Yours was
without-
Rubicon,
Yeah,
so it had
a
the high front
Rubicon.
fenders. And
Yeah. So, but it didn't have any lift or anything. Just the 35s. Gave us 3/4 of an inch extra ground clearance, but that doesn't mean anything down there.
No,
That's-
I was thinking every little bit helps.
Yeah, I mean, but when we're weighted down like you
Yeah.
are. We were weighted down. I mean, we had 3 people and
Right.
2 weeks worth of gear with us, food, refrigerator, all that.
Yeah.
So every bump we hit, our fenders were getting scraped, and it's just Lockhart Basin is not for the faint of heart.
Right.
You have to be, you have to really love.
Yeah.
It's technical, it's difficult, it's slow. It takes many. How long did it take you guys? You went the opposite way that I went.
yeah, so
How
we
long
came
did it take you
south
to get
to
through
north, and it took us, I guess, total about 10 hours to get
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah.
And it was
And
slick. It was wet.
And
slick.
see,
You
I
said
didn't do
took-
it wet, and it took us 9 hours. We were going south to north, I think, right? You guys went.
We went south to north.
We
you
went north to south, and I mean, it took us. We were on the trail 9 hours that day, and we went 12 miles
Yeah,
in
Yeah.
total.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
The
crazy.
other thing, if you're traveling alone, there isn't a lot of traffic that can
No.
come by and pick you up.
Safe.
I don't think we've seen anybody.
No.
Very few, very few
At
that
the
we've had
end,
to
we've
pass.
seen a couple motorcycles.
That was all. Right.
At the very end, when you start
very
getting
end.
closer to Chicken Corners,
Yeah.
now you're going to see some traffic.
Yeah.
But in between Canyonlands and Chicken
Nothing.
Corners, it was nothing.
Nothing.
So once you get down out of Lockhart Pass, or Lockhart Basin, you get down off of the hard section. You come up on Chicken Corners, and then over Hurrah Pass. So that was pretty cool. It wasn't
Those are
super
fair.
technical. It wasn't real difficult.
A buck.
It's a real popular.
Okay.
Not
But
real popular
spectacular
place.
views.
The views are incredible.
But that's everywhere in Moab.
That's true.
I mean, anywhere you
Is
go
there a deer
is
behind us?
beautiful.
There were two.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, they were close.
And
Really?
What was the
Oh.
buck?
That's cool.
Well, I seen your face and I was like,
That's what
I think there's something behind us. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a bear or
Different place
Or
if she
a
does
or a
not.
different face
I
with
looked
a bear.
at Bill and I was like, I think there's something behind us.
That's great.
But it's hunting season,
Yeah,
so we
it
need to
is.
be careful.
That's
We
true.
don't know. Just got photobombed by some deer. That's cool.
That's okay. That's okay. Right. After Hurrah Pass, there was flash flooding in Moab the day and the night that we were on Lockhart. We knew there was rain. We knew there was a lot of rain, and we seen the flash flood from the lower end of Lockhart. But Moab got flooded. And then on the way across from Hurrah Pass, making our way into Moab, we ran upon a wash area that was completely flooded, and there was a Colorado pickup completely submerged in the sand who had tried to make it through the night before.
Was he there all night?
He was
All
there
night.
all night.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he have water? Was he like prepared at all?
Yeah, they were prepared.
Okay.
Luckily, they were prepared. There were a few other vehicles behind them that were also prepared.
Okay,
So,
all right.
so they stayed the night there and did fine.
Right.
But it took a while for them to get that cleared up to where we could all get on through. So then we made our way to Moab. At that point, we had been 9 days we had been expecting to have some water in a few places where we could pull the Julka out and get a shower.
It was muddy.
But yes, every place that we found water, it looked like chocolate milk. So nobody really wanted to take a shower in that. So we actually did one of the overlanding no-nos and jumped in a motel for a night.
You know, listen, that does not. There is a time and a place for everything.
Absolutely.
And there is no shame
That's
in
right.
saying, you know what, I'm getting a hot shower and a clean bed,
Yes.
and I'm gonna wash my clothes. That's
So that is, those
what you
three
think.
things are exactly what we did.
You don't have to live out of your vehicle for, you know,
Internet.
you can.
Yeah. We may get crucified on
Yeah,
on
but
YouTube or somewhere
Everybody's
about
done it. They just
But
don't
everybody's done
show
it, they
that
just
in
don't show
their
it.
video.
Yeah.
Right, right. So,
Mike volunteered that he slept better.
In his tent.
yeah, we got up the next
Yeah.
morning and he said, man, I slept terrible. I do better in my tent than I did in the hotel. But you got a shower, right?
Yeah.
And Laura got a shower and she was a lot happier.
I washed clothes. Yeah, I did that.
Had a good meal.
Watched TV. It was so much fun.
So we left Moab, we got fuel and got resupplied there. We left Moab and made our way up through Onion Creek, which I think was one of Deb's favorite trails. Just the amount of colors and diversity.
Yeah, it was pretty. The green rock there. I just like the green rock. There's something about the green.
Is it moss on the rock or is
No,
it
it's
rock?
copper.
It's actually
Copper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe patina.
Okay.
The geology changed too. For the first half of Onion Creek,
Right.
it was all stuff that washed down a million years ago and
Right.
filled up the gorge,
Yeah.
and then was eroding away again.
But that was
So
all an
instead-
ocean.
instead-
Moab was an ocean.
Right.
Yeah, that was. We weren't seeing the bare rock.
Right.
That a while later we got up into it,
Right. It's really cool.
and we both, two of us, found pieces of granite,
Yeah.
and we don't understand that. It has to be important.
It's crazy. So from there we made our way on up Thompson Canyon, which was really nice to be able to get up on, halfway up into Thompson Canyon and see that big farm up there.
Yeah.
Was a totally different contrast from what we had experienced up to that point. From there we made our way on around and ultimately, we found the fossils up on top
right,
of
right.
up on top of the mountain. The dinosaur, well, not fossils, but the dinosaur footprint.
It's a fossil.
Yeah.
It's an input.
Yeah. So I'm sure, Nancy, you were really intrigued by that because I know you look for fossils everywhere we go.
Yes, and it was nice to see the fossils that you could actually touch them, walk in them if you wanted.
In
It was,
situ, in place,
it was really
not
nice.
in a museum.
Was it like sectioned off, or was it just there?
It's
It was just there. They had
That's really
interpretive signs there and a little gravel walking path
Okay.
that led you to
Okay.
each one
All
of
right,
them.
cool.
Yeah,
But it
warning
was-
you not
it
to
was really,
damage
really
them,
Right.
but
It
other than
it
that-
said on the placard that was the seashore.
at the time.
And the sandstone helped preserve the tracks. I mean, the strides were just
Huge.
one half a stride was 5 feet. I mean, those are some
What
big
type of
animals.
dinosaur was it?
Velociraptor.
They said
Really?
velociraptors of
That's
the
awesome.
aquariums.
And it was up about 10,000 feet now.
That's crazy.
It was about,
Not at that time. It was at 0.
yeah, it was a zero then. But at 10,000, it's 10,000 feet now. So after we left there, we made our way to Porcupine Rim, which was a primitive formal camping area. It's a beautiful view from up there. You can overlook from there. You can see top of the world on the other side of the canyon.
No, you didn't go there.
We didn't do top of the world.
Okay.
Yeah, we looked at top of the world from the opposite
Yeah,
side.
it's not a bad view. So.
Yeah. So we were gonna camp right on the edge, but it was incredibly windy.
Yeah.
So we tucked ourselves back up in some trees and had a nice camp area that night. From there we made our way back down to Moab the next morning, where we met Josh, Courtney, and Remy. And we've talked about how many times
Several.
about meeting up and getting together.
And then we
doing
just
trips.
ran into each other at the gorge.
And then
at
we
Miguel's.
just happened to run into each other at the gorge. We were doing some stuff down there. You were rock climbing.
I was rock
actually.
climbing down there, yeah.
And then
That's
You were
funny. I
eating
just put two and two
pizza like
together.
we normally
yes,
do.
Yeah, just now?
That was you.
Really?
Just this moment.
Just now.
Just this moment.
Golly.
Did he just figure that out?
Memorable, I think.
Oh yeah.
you left an impression.
I was probably a lot dirtier then.
I think we all were. Yeah.
So it worked out. You were going to be
Yeah.
coming out here to see your grandparents,
Yeah, Courtney's grandparents.
Courtney's grandparents in Arizona, and you're making your way to where now?
We're going to tag along with you guys for a while, and then we're going to get back to Colorado, get situated, and we're going to hit Mountain West before we head back home.
Awesome.
So we've been out a month. We did the Badlands for a day. We were in Yellowstone, Idaho Falls, Wyoming, Montana, that little subsection where all those states meet. We were there for almost 2 weeks. Then we went from there to Tucson to Moab, Moab to Colorado, and eventually we'll make our way home.
Awesome.
So that's been our plan. Yeah, it's been, I think, 8,000 miles almost.
No,
It'll be 8,000 probably when we get home.
you don't do this full time.
No,
But you guys started the channel a year and a half ago,
almost 2 years ago.
almost 2
It's
years.
just, it's a project.
Yeah.
We do it for fun. We enjoy it. We want to show people. I think I was inspired by people to get out and to do this because this isn't how I lived my whole life. You know, I camped as a kid. This isn't something I've always done.
Right.
But we were inspired to go and explore, like we were talking about this morning. Like, just go and explore and see things and spend time with your family and disconnect from the world. And just those moments are so valuable, you know. And we started the channel just as a project, and then I like the process of creating and editing and storytelling, and it's hard and it's difficult if you've never done it, but it's just a lot of fun. It's just a project, and we have fun doing it, and I hope people enjoy what we do. And if you don't enjoy it, I don't need to hear about it.
Yeah, we've had that discussion too.
Yeah, you can you don't have to do anything. You can just
change it.
There's 400 million hours of YouTube that you can watch. There's somebody else out there for you.
Move along.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a back button.
Yeah. There's an X. I mean, there's so many ways that don't involve the keyboard. You know? So, but yeah, no, it's been great, and we get to meet cool people, new experiences with new people. I love hearing others' stories about how you kind of evolved to this and how we got here, and regardless of where we come from, our backgrounds, our ages, you know, anything that differentiates us, we're all kind of unified in that one spirit of exploration.
Yeah.
You know, and that is why this hobby, lifestyle, whatever you want to call it, that's why we love it, because it really brings people together, and you get to know people that you've probably cross paths with and never had a conversation with, just because, you know, you're different parts of your life, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And you can't be in a hurry. Like Kelly was in Moab, and he came out of an auto parts store, and there was another power wagon that pulled up. And
A local guy.
How long was that conversation?
15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
Local guy with a power wagon, a year newer than mine, and from a distance it looked like it was pristine, and I'm like, mall crawler. I got up close to it. Nope. He just keeps it clean, but he's got some serious battle damage on that thing. But he gave me a lot of good local intel on places to go, and you know, and just some of the general probably, I don't know if we can get into it, but kind of a shift in the mindset in Moab towards the off-road community. There's been a little bit of a shift, but he said it's still cool, you know, it's still good, but just remember, you're in other people's homes when you come visit Moab, and
Yeah, respect it.
and respect that.
It's the side-by-sides, it's not us.
Well,
it doesn't help. I'll tell you that. It doesn't help.
you said it, but as a local, he did say, you know,
From Georgia.
they appreciate when people come to enjoy the area, but remember, this is their home.
Right, and you know, and
It's true everywhere.
just like you know, we all try to do is you got to leave it better than you found
Yep.
it.
Everything.
You know, this is a huge opportunity for us to be able to come out and enjoy places like this. You know, and they're not just people like us that like to come out and enjoy it. There's also companies that like to help provide that assistance. You know, one of the people that we work with that does that is the Trail Rated Coffee. A portion of everything that you buy from Trail Rated Coffee, they give a percentage of that money back to either Tread Lightly or a similar program to help keep our trails up and keep them going. So if you guys would do your part, make sure you pick up your garbage. If you see other people's garbage that they've left, pick up a little bit of it, you know. Help do things a little bit better than everybody else is doing.
It's been remarkably clean.
Oh yeah, I can tell you that the western part of the United States is dramatically cleaner
Just the highways.
than the eastern part of the
Even
United
the
States.
highways. Pristine.
I don't know what the difference is, or if it's just mentality, or you know, just a mindset of what it is, but it's definitely different.
I agree.
And I think the off-road community is far older out here than I think it is out east.
Yeah.
They've been doing this since the 20s, really, is when it started out west.
Yeah.
So I maybe they've had a little more time to kind of wrap their head around how to, you know, operate outside, you know. Maybe it's a little different environment, Midwest, East Coast.
Yeah. So we left Moab, had a great lunch, got to talk and learn about each other a little bit, and we've hit the Rim Rocker on our way to Colorado. It's a bit different. It's not quite what I've expected so far, but we're only about a third of the way through it. Mike, Laura, what do you guys think about the Rim Rockers?
I liked it. It just there's a lot of hunting going on right now. So
Yes,
I'm a
where
little
we
leery
camped
of
at
that.
tonight, or last night,
We had
a lot of people.
ATVs and dogs and all that, which is fun. Just kept us
It's a
active.
little louder up here than. But we did see the vehicle that drove off the edge on the way up the Moon Rockers. So yeah, that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's not something you see every day. A lot of times, you know, we talk about how dangerous these trails are, and we just don't think about it. We just go ahead and, you know, do it. Well, yesterday, we drove by and found a Ford Excursion who apparently just drove off the trail. And the only thing that kept him from flipping for several hundred feet was some of these little scrub oaks. I don't know what was keeping that 9,000 pound Excursion from rolling on over, but the guy was very lucky. We offered to help, but once we looked at it, assessed the situation, without a high point change of direction and good anchors, we wasn't going to be able to do a whole lot. Luckily, he had a wrecker service coming that specialized in doing that kind of work, so
But
we
they
moved
called
on.
it at 10 in the morning and it was 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So if you need a wrecker, it's going to be a while after.
Yeah, apparently it takes a while for them to gather up everything they need to
Yeah.
do that type of rescue.
Yeah.
That was an involved winch.
Yeah.
You know, that was definitely involved. And he was only a little bit off. The story we were told is somebody tried to help and put him a little further off. And I think that is something to realize your own experience and limitations. If there is not a legitimate risk to somebody's life, don't be Superman.
Yeah.
Professionals are on their way. Let it be.
With the right equipment.
With the right equipment and the experience. Let it be.
So we made it to camp last night. We talked about hunting season, and we camped in an open spot between an intersection that was a little more populated. Well, it wasn't populated, but there was a lot of traffic.
A lot of side-by-side.
A lot of side-by-side traffic.
A lot of four-wheelers.
So,
Hunting.
They said that they were elk hunting and deer hunting, but they were moving after dark, and there was dogs involved. And I'm not a real avid hunter. I know a couple in the group are, and none of us can figure out why you use dogs to elk and deer hunt. So maybe they were hunting something different. We didn't know. from here, we're going to continue on along the rim rocker. Josh and Courtney are going to hang with us until at least we get to Montrose. And we're looking forward to it. So, one thing we did do this morning, air filters. So we've been 9 days. We've checked them a couple times, but today, this morning we checked them and changed them. Look for a short video clip out about that. Kelly's got some words of wisdom and shows you just how dusty an air filter can get.
Was yours dusty though?
Mine was not dusty
Why's
at
that?
all. Because I was
That's a good move you pulled there. I respect it.
Yeah, ours wasn't too bad, but I think that's because I have a snorkel.
Well, you had the snorkel, which helped, and the first 3 days, 4 days you missed was dry.
It was the dry days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you all only got 1 or 2 good days of dust.
Yeah.
The other days were muddy, but we were silty dust the first 4 days.
Now, whoever scheduled the dust suppression, I appreciate that.
Help
Yeah.
you out? Yeah.
Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this campfire chat. We were wanting to do these live. We haven't gotten to. The cell service is not what Gaia GPS says it is.
No.
So that's off a little bit. So if you have any questions, have any comments, be sure and leave them in the comments below. We'll try to answer them next time. Remember, check out Dan Cummins Off-Road, home of the Lifetime Powertrain. Get your vehicle lifted there, get new tires, get new accessories. They'll take good care of you. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, and you can check them out on their new website at www.dancumminsoffroad.com. We're going to make our way on from here into Colorado. We'll catch up with you next week, let you know how things are going. Guys, do you have anything else to add? Josh, Courtney, thanks a lot for hanging out with us. We're
Thanks for
enjoying
having
your
us.
company.
Letting us be your stepchildren.
Yeah. Deb has inherited more children.
And we
And a
make
baby.
all of our grandchildren behave.
Yeah. And little Remy is going to be, she'll be driving before long.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
will.
This,
Look at her.
She had
All
her 6-month
birthday.
birthday.
It was yesterday.
on the
6-month
way.
birthday yesterday on the Rim Rock.
Yep.
Thanks again for watching Coddiwomple Overland. Remember, check Overlanding Now out. It's a great channel. They're a great couple and a great family. Look at them, give them a subscribe. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, do it too.
Be safe.
Be safe, and until next time, we'll see you.
Can't you?